John Ossoff has released his final report on Georgia's foster care crisis. And as we've reported extensively, the state has far more foster children than foster homes.
Heartbreaking. I hear these cases coming in every day. Kids telling me about what it's been like at certain placements or the things that they've had to go through. Specifically to hear about it as the result of what I believe have been systemic failures, that's even more heartbreaking because it's not something in their control.
In total, the senator and his subcommittee interviewed more than 100 witnesses and sources to investigate the human rights violations. One of the key findings was, quote, mismanagement at DFACS is a key contributor to child deaths and serious injuries, end quote. Another key finding the senator listed is, quote, hundreds of children in DFACS care were likely sex trafficked in a 5-year span, and nearly 2,000 have been reported missing, end quote. It continued to say, quote, juvenile court judges report that DFACS improperly prolonged children's time in juvenile detention centers, end quote.
I've been working in this line of business for quite some time, and I've never seen the foster care system the way it is today. It is hard for DFACS to find foster placements. There's just a lack of foster placements in the entire state. So oftentimes they'll ask for the child to remain in detention until they can find a placement. Unfortunately, the law doesn't allow that.
Judge Sims says she feels there's more resources that could be used by DFACS to alleviate some of these problems.
And I understand, that there's a process when it comes to vending and, putting bids out and things like that. But the fact of the matter is the state has been limited in who they're contracting with. And so I have these other resources that can be put in play, but they're not usable because the child is in DFACS care. And for whatever reason, they can't use those services.
Some of the recommendations Senator Ossoff gave based off his findings were to request additional funding from Congress to support operation and oversight, prioritize compliance of DFACS policies and background checks, strengthen child welfare agencies' cooperation with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and many more. If you would like to see the senator's full 64-page investigation into the abuse and neglect of children in Georgia's foster care system, just try to find this story on WALB.com.